and hence express the sine of 15 in third form. Wow, cool. Okay, so basically you're stepping back and you're going, I did have double the sine of 45 degrees, which is, by the way, is an algebraic number. Okay, the sine of 15 degrees, as we're going to discover, is an algebraic number, but that's what we're after. And it's equal to this. So trying to isolate sine of 15 degrees, it's equal to the cosine of 30 degrees minus the cosine of 60 degrees over double the sine of 45 degrees. So, of course we can do all this in our heads, but if you're stuck, go back a page. But you shouldn't be. The cos of 30 is root 3 over 2. You'll get that back a page. Minus the cos of 60 is minus a half. Double down here is a 2, and this is sine 45, which is root 2 over 2. Now if you look here, there's 2 common everywhere, so that 2 goes with that 2. And you get root 3 minus 1 over root 2. Now if anything, I think there's a big strand in the course called the number strand, and if anything, I think you're probably looking at this going, yeah, I need to learn what I'm doing there. Especially don't be tempted to say I'll take 2 2's out there with 2 2's here. Because remember, you're doubling top and you're doubling bottom. Okay. Now furthermore, has this been rationalized? It hasn't. So I want to bracket that up and put a root 2 there and a root 2 here. So root 2 distributed onto root 3 is root 6. And root 2 distributed onto negative 1 is negative root 2. And this has cleaned up to 2. So that's it in its sweetest, most rationalized, even though it's not rational. But that's as good as it gets. Root 6 minus root 2. No harm in remembering it. And we can look at the marking scheme, but that won't be available to you in any real situation. But you can certainly do sine of 15 degrees. And oh, I got a 4. I left out a 2 somewhere. Oh. Hang on. So I made a mistake somewhere here. That 2, and that 2 went. I think I just lost that 2. And if I'm dividing the denominator, I'm doubling the numerator. No, there should be an extra 2 here. Come on, find it. Cos root 3 over 2 minus cos of 60 minus a half. Double sine of 45 degrees. By the way, in the exam, all you have to do is plug all that into your calculator, see what it says, write it down. It says root 6 minus root 2 over 4, and you'll be right. Oh, do you know what happened? No. 2 has come down. So now I'm in real troubleshooting form. I'm not like showing off, this is what you do, I've done it 100 times. I will find it, I know I'll find a little slip. But that's what we're searching for, a slip. And by the way, that slip is worth 1 out of 10 marks. It's worth a tiny amount. So you do not search for slips when your paper isn't finished. Just push on. You're probably still in a H1 if you've got nothing else wrong. You come back to it later. You don't fish for slips when you've got big questions to do. But this is different because it's a demonstration video, so I have to find it. So root 3 over, no, so, and you've got to go back far enough. You don't want to go back to a place where the mistake's already been made. I'm going to cheat for a second and just check what they wrote down for 18. Yeah, they got that bit. Oh, they got something completely different then. Or did they? They left root 2 down there bold. Okay, but that's bad. Multiply below by root 2 and above. Okay, we're still looking for it. I'm going to flick this over. Double 2 sine. Just going to 2 sine 45 degrees. Sometimes it's easier just to bring it right back to the very beginning, where you're absolutely certain that you've got it, that it's written correctly. Minus cos 60, right? Okay, so we'll take it right back there and we'll get going again. So we've the sine of 15 equals cosine 30 minus cosine. And I'll show you what we would do now. We would just, certainly we would go, that's the answer. I don't know whether I'm using this. Like in some exams in the UK, you got many exams where you have one exam where you can use calculators and another you can't. But we don't have that restriction, so there's nothing to stop us coming in here and just letting the calculator tell us the answer. I know you're disappointed with me and you want me to do it right, do it analytically, and I will in a second, but I'm just telling you that when push comes to shove, that's what you're going to do. Root 6 minus root 3 over 4, which is of course root 6 minus root 2 over 4. Now don't be bothered the fact that your answer is different than that. That should have read this because they failed to rationalize the bottom. Okay, which in the craft of mathematics and in the old school mathematics, that's a no-no. And it's still a no-no because we have a bit of pride. Okay, now having said that, let's do some arithmetic. Lovely, lovely arithmetic. So root cos of 30 is the messy one. Minus the cos of 60 is the clean one. If you don't know what you're up to, cos 30 root 3 over 2, cos 60, and they're near each other. Down you go, and you go sine of 45 is 1 over root 2. That could be a source of my error. Might have written root 2 there. Let's not look back. So if I want to fix that, so that's correct now. But if I want to rationalize it, I want to put. Remember, this is just one. This is one factor, so I can put root 2 here, and I'll just turn that 1 into the root 2, and to justify it, I must multiply this binomial expression by root 2. Okay, so we're all good. That's gone. That's 2. Now, that 2 here pops down. Yes, he does. Comes downstairs. And this root 3 distributes onto this. And distributes onto this. And don't think this stuff is far-fetched. This is a big chunk of your course. This is a fifth of your course. So this sort of skill is out there and it's needed, kind of, although we did cheat. We could have used technology as well. But sooner or later, somewhere along the line, if these are letters, you do need to be able to do what I just did. So follow this. We're done. Okay, just one section done. It took that long. Okay, so work through it and we'll move on to 17.5 as a separate assignment. I'll give it to you shortly.